I'll tell you this right here, I am such a fool. I made this video earlier today without even realizing that the Montreal Canadiens were going to play the Sabres. This video came up like multiple hours before the game, and so it kind of goes against my entire business model. Hey, why are we making videos about teams that are going to play in a few hours, especially when the two teams that we talk about in the video are going to be playing each other? Doesn't really make any sense, but we are making yet another video, not because I am unsatisfied with this Jake Allen trade update content. In fact, if you haven't seen it already, go ahead and watch this. But because today we had ourselves the game, Montreal and Buffalo, first overall picks showdowns, and it was an absolute dagger. I was bouncing between this game and the Red Wings game. My Wings are getting smoked by Ottawa. It sucks. Patrick Kane went out there and scored, which is awesome, but that was like the only good thing to come out of this game. Even like all the other stuff, Dylan Larkin getting hurt, it sucks. But this Montreal and Buffalo game was the other one that I had on, that I was paying attention to, and that I was absolutely captivated by. Montreal wins 3-2 in the shootout after blowing the multi-goal lead, and guess who it is that gets the job done? None other than JURAJ freaking SLAFKOVSKY. Where is the thing here? Yes, here it is, the shootout results. So what I wanted to do was just kind of go over what we had seen in this game, some of the extenuating ideas that came about, starting out with the first period, because as you can see, no goals, nothing going on here in the first. There was a pretty good balance, I would say, of pace in this showcase. Let's go over to the money puck list, because that will give us some good information as to what happened. Look at the deserve to win-o-meter, man. Buffalo, 81%, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Montreal was down here. First period, they completely got outchanced over and over again, right from the get-go. And guess what? It's Cayden Primeau, the guy whom I've been talking smack about this entire time, coming and bailing the Habs out. He ended up making, what was that? 17 saves in the first period versus the Montreal Canadiens 7 shots on goal. Cayden Primeau absolutely stood on his head tonight, and that was so true for the first period of this hockey game. Second period comes along, though. Chances are about equal. The Canadiens are kind of getting back in there, and then they strike twice. You have yourselves Jayden Struble getting his first NHL goal, and it is an absolute beauty. Very nice rush by Kovacevic. Very nice rush by Struble, going to the net, tipping it right by. What a beautiful first goal for Jayden Struble, a guy who has worked so hard and who has just been so good and polished as an NHL defenseman, which is not really what we all expected to see right away. When he made his NHL debut, it took him a while to get here, so the fact that his transition has been so seamless, that's been great. Give it a little bit later, and you have yourselves a goal scored by Nick Suzuki, assisted by Mike Matheson and Sean Monahan. This was a very nice one, too. Matheson drops it back for Suzuki. He comes in. It's a power play situation. Suzuki just waltzes right in by the D, comes in, and he shoots and scores. Easy. Very easy goal on Devon Levi. I mean, he makes it look easy. I bet it wasn't. But either way, it's a 2-0 game for the Montreal Canadiens in this second period stint. The Habs still had themselves an extra power play because there were a bunch of penalties sent out to guys. Caden Gooley, Eric Robinson, everybody was going out there. Recently acquired Eric Robinson, by the way. Justin Barron got hurt on the entire play, which is why, you know, everything went down penalty-wise, so of course we are hoping that Barron is able to really come away from this unscathed. But the Habs got the power play, they got the 2-0 goal, all is good in Montreal, and then the third period comes along, which is where you start to see Buffalo getting more chances. They start to really put the pressure on, and Buffalo ends up getting 2 straight ones here. It's Jeff Skinner, Okposo, they tie things up. Montreal is totally just down in the dumps afterwards. I was reading the reactions on the subreddit, I was reading social media, everybody was freaking out, and of course I'm watching the game too. I'm like, yeah, those are not really the best kinds of goals to be given up here for Montreal, having all this momentum, but for Buffalo, I mean, the Sabres really did come alive in the first and third periods of this game. 17 shots for Buffalo in the first, 16 shots for Buffalo in the third, so they really put the pressure on Primeau. They were able to tie things up, and once the game went over into overtime and you saw yourselves the penalties assessed towards the end, This is what everybody's going to be talking about here. I mean, JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY gets a fighting major against Connor Clifton. That is nuts. You saw the chances that Devon Levi was able to stop too. The cross crease to Caulfield. The JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY chance on the back door. Devon Levi was a beast. These were two young goaltenders in Primeau and Levi who were showing up for their teams. And my goodness, they were putting on a show in this game. SLAFKOVSKY goes for fighting, Clifton goes for fighting, Christian Dvorak got the penalty towards the end of the third period, which carried over into overtime. No whistles in overtime, by the way. The Sabres started out the overtime 4-on-3 on the power play. The penalty expired, and then it ended off 4-on-4. And then we have ourselves that crazy freaking shootout where everything just goes down. Tage Thompson, stopped by Primeau. Nick Suzuki, stopped by Levi. Levi looking so good, just so confident, able to get in there, swatting the puck away from Suzuki. Then you have yourselves the tricksters. Olofsson, Caulfield, Power, Ylonen, all with goals. My goodness, some of the talent we had been seeing on display here. Victor Olofsson dangles the pants off of Primeau, goes upstairs. Cole Caulfield comes right in, goes 5-hole on Devon Levi. Owen Power takes the Evgeny Kuznetsov approach, comes right in. He slows down, and then he slows down. Did I mention he slows down? He comes in so slowly and then just pots it right by Primeau. This is a weird, like, I don't know if I want to say psychological kind of thing, where when you have the shooter in the shootout coming so slowly, it kind of gets the goalie to overreact, and that's kind of what Owen Power did. He just came in. He crawled in. He was like a snail, just itching his way towards the net, puts it in, and then you had Jesse Ylonen giving the Canadiens life. He needed the score to extend this shootout. He was 2 for 2 on the year heading into tonight's shootout, and he scores his third one, dangles the pants off of Levi, extends the shootout. JJ Peterka gets stopped up by Cayden Primeau. He doesn't get moving. That's the thing. Peterka didn't really have Primeau committing left to right. He just kind of went onto the left side. And then JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY seals the deal. He dangles it right by Levi. He uses his reach. Levi's a little bit of a smaller goalie, so he's not able to get across to the back post. But JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY gives the Canadiens the win. You saw the boss look on his face when he was skating over with his teammates. Let's take a look at some of the goalie stats here. Devon Levi, 31 shots against, 29 saves, 935 save percentage. He was great. And then you had yourselves Cayden Primeau, 46 saves in 48 shots against, 958 save percentage. My gosh. The Montreal Canadiens probably should not have won this game. At least if you're looking at the money puck, expected goals for, etc., etc. The Sabres were electric. But Montreal gets it done. And it's none other than the guy that everybody's been coming out here to defend recently, JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY, who gives the Canadiens the dub. Let's take a look at the points before we end things off here. Suzuki had a goal, Monahan had an assist, and then you had points from Matheson, Kovacevic, and Struble. As for Buffalo, you had 2 goals scored, Okposo, Skinner, an assist over to Tage Thompson, and then an assist to Connor Clifton. This was a pretty low-scoring game, but definitely a fun one to watch. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens defeating the Buffalo Sabres 3-2 in a shootout. JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY is the man of the hour. I hope you enjoyed this video. And, by the way, check out the video here. Yeah, I'm going to plug myself one more time before I say, and bye.